Can you survive this intruder encounter? Listen to the story and pick your ending. The timestamps of your chosen fate will appear. Let's see who survives. It was one of those nights where everything felt still, too still. The rain outside seemed to swallow every other sound, muffling the world beyond these walls. I sat alone, just me and the silence that filled the house. The only thing that kept me company was the faint flicker of the old lamp overhead and the occasional murmur of the wind as it rattled against the glass. I wasn't expecting anything out of the ordinary tonight, just another evening of trying to forget the weight of the day, but then the noise came. A loud crash echoed from downstairs. My heart stopped. Was it the storm or something else? I held my breath, straining to listen. The house was too quiet. The sound of the crash had shattered the silence like a crack in glass. It was a heavy thud, almost like something or someone had fallen. Footsteps followed, slow, deliberate, creeping down the stairs. I froze. My mind raced. What was that? Who was it? The footsteps grew louder. Someone or something was in the house. I couldn't move. The tension in the air was suffocating. Every creak of the floorboard, every groan of the walls seemed to amplify the feeling of dread. I couldn't tell if I was imagining things. I couldn't tell if I was just hearing the house settle or if something more sinister was happening. The footsteps stopped, just outside the door. I tried to breathe quietly, trying to stay as still as possible, but the pounding of my heart made it impossible to ignore. The door handle turned slowly, carefully, as if whoever was on the other side wanted to remain unnoticed. My pulse quickened. My palms went sweaty. My mind screamed at me to move, to do something. But what? What was I supposed to do? There was no escape, no place to hide. Just me and the door slowly creaking open. The footsteps grew closer, and my heartbeat seemed to echo in my ears. I pressed myself further into the dark corner of the closet, holding my breath, hoping against hope that whoever was in the house would just pass by. For a long moment, there was silence. My mind raced, and I thought, just maybe, I had made it. But then, the door to the closet creaked open. I gasped, but it was too late. The killer's cold eyes locked onto mine, his expression twisted with malice. Before I could scream, his hand shot out, grabbing my throat. My vision blurred. The last thing I saw was his face inches from mine as the darkness took me. I took a deep breath and gripped the nearest object, a heavy lamp, before stepping out to face whatever was in my house. My hands shook, but I forced myself to move forward, determined to confront this terror. As soon as I stepped into the hallway, I saw him, a tall, dark figure with an unnerving calm about him. He smiled, cold and knowing. "Trying to fight back?" he said, his voice low and mocking. I swung the lamp with everything I had, but he easily sidestepped, grabbing my wrist and twisting it. I fell to the floor, my heart pounding in my chest. He knelt beside me, his knife gleaming in the dim light. The last thing I felt was the sharp pain as he plunged it deep into my side, ending everything in a flash of agony. I made a run for the kitchen, my breath coming in ragged gasps. The footsteps behind me grew louder as I reached for the knife on the counter. The cold steel felt like my only hope. I turned to hide, but as I did, I felt a hand grab my shoulder. I tried to push him off, to make it to safety, but he was too strong. His grip tightened, pulling me back toward him. Before I could react, he slammed me against the wall. The blade in his hand glinted as he drove it into my chest. The last thing I remember is the cold, sharp sting before everything went black. I didn't think twice. I bolted for the bedroom window and shoved it open, climbing out into the night air. My heart raced, and the cold wind cut through me as I jumped. I landed hard, pain shooting through my leg. I gritted my teeth, struggling to get back to my feet. Every step was agony, but I kept moving, limping toward the neighbor's house, praying someone would be home. I stumbled to their front door, pounding weakly with my fists. My vision blurred, and the pain from my leg was overwhelming. But after what felt like an eternity, the door opened. A face appeared, a neighbor, a stranger, and I collapsed into their arms. "Are you okay?" they asked, but I couldn't respond. My body felt heavy, the adrenaline leaving me drained. I had survived. Somehow, despite everything, I had made it. Did you survive? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe below for more horror content.